Welcome back to our chilling series exploring the haunted corners of the American West, where untamed wilderness meets whispers of the supernatural. In this sixth episode of Most Haunted Forests in the American West, we delve deeper into the shadowy canopies and mist-shrouded clearings of forests steeped in mystery, tragedy, and unrelenting dread. These ancient woodlands are more than just breathtaking landscapes. They are portals to another realm, where the echoes of human anguish linger long after the last campfire has died out. Forests, by their very nature, evoke a sense of awe and vulnerability. They are vast, impenetrable, and teeming with life, and yet, beneath their serene exteriors lie secrets that defy explanation. The American West, with its rugged terrain and storied history, is home to some of the most haunted forests in the world. From ghostly apparitions wandering among towering pines to eerie phenomena hidden within dense thickets, these places have become fertile ground for legends that blur the line between fact and fiction. In this episode, we'll journey to some of the most infamous haunted forests across the western United States, places steeped in lore and fear, where the past refuses to stay buried. We'll peer into the shadowy depths of groves soaked in blood, explore eerie trails where footsteps echo without origin, and tread cautiously through clearings teeming with restless spirits. Along the way, we'll hear first-hand accounts from witnesses brave enough to confront the unknown, examine chilling evidence captured by paranormal investigators, and unravel the tragic histories that give rise to these hauntings. So dim the lights, keep your ears sharp, and prepare yourself for a descent into the macabre. As we step into the haunted heart of America's most notorious forests, remember, sometimes, the most terrifying truths lie just beyond the veil, and once you cross it, there's no turning back. The Aokigahara Forest, shadows beneath Mount Fuji. Though technically located in Japan, the infamous Aokigahara Forest has inspired countless tales of despair and supernatural encounters worldwide, making it an essential starting point for any discussion of haunted forests. Known as the Sea of Trees, this sprawling woodland at the base of Mount Fuji is both a natural wonder and a site of profound sorrow. Its dense canopy, volcanic rock formations, and labyrinthine trails create an atmosphere of eerie isolation, a place where silence reigns supreme and GPS signals fail. But what truly sets Aokigahara apart is its grim reputation as one of the world's most popular suicide sites, earning it comparisons to the dark forests of the American West. One of the most pervasive legends tied to Aokigahara involves the spirits of those who have taken their own lives within its confines. Locals believe that the forest is haunted by eerie, vengeful ghosts unable to find peace due to the violent nature of their deaths. Visitors report hearing faint cries echoing through the trees, accompanied by the sensation of being watched or followed. Some claim to see shadowy figures darting between trunks, their forms dissolving into mist when approached. Others describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, as though the forest itself resists intruders, urging them to turn back before it's too late. Another prominent figure in Aokigahara's haunted lore is the Ubasut legend, an ancient practice said to have occurred during times of famine, when families abandoned their elderly relatives in remote areas to conserve resources. Paranormal investigators exploring the forest have captured EVP recordings suggesting the presence of frail voices pleading for help or guidance. Witnesses described seeing spectral figures huddled near tree roots, their faces gaunt and hollow, as if still waiting for rescue that will never come. Some speculate that these spirits remain tethered to the forest due to unresolved guilt or abandonment issues, while others believe they serve as guardians warning visitors of the dangers ahead. The forest's magnetic anomalies add another layer of mystery to its haunting reputation. Compasses often malfunction within Aokigahara, leaving hikers disoriented and lost despite following marked paths. This phenomenon has led many to theorize that the forest harbors an otherworldly energy capable of distorting reality itself. One particularly unnerving incident involved a group of tourists who swore they saw trees moving on their own, shifting positions to block their exit. Theories abound that the forest actively manipulates its environment to trap unsuspecting wanderers, feeding off their fear and despair. Modern-day investigations into Aokigahara's supernatural claims have yielded intriguing results. Thermal imaging cameras reveal significant temperature drops in specific areas, particularly near known suicide hotspots. Electromagnetic field (EMF) meters register unusual spikes, especially around volcanic rock formations believed to amplify negative energies. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from audio recordings, which capture disembodied voices uttering fragmented sentences like, "Leave me alone," and "I'm sorry." Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted allure, Aokigahara continues to draw thrill seekers and mourners alike. For those brave enough to venture inside, the opportunity to confront its spectral inhabitants adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its natural beauty or the weight of its tragic legacy, Aokigahara promises an unforgettable experience where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the echoes of yesterday linger just beyond reach. The Hoyabaciu Forest, whispers of the Romanian woods nestled in the heart of Transylvania, Romania. The Hoyabaciu Forest stands as one of Europe's most enigmatic and haunted woodlands, a sprawling expanse of twisted trees, eerie clearings, and inexplicable phenomena that defy rational explanation. Often referred to as the Bermuda Triangle of Romania, this forest has earned its reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity, drawing researchers, thrill seekers, and skeptics from around the globe. Its tangled underbrush, gnarled branches, and perpetually swirling mist create an atmosphere of perpetual unease, inviting comparisons to the haunted forests of the American West. One of the most enduring legends tied to Hoyabaciu revolves around a mysterious clearing deep within its borders, known locally as the Circle of Fear. According to folklore, this area was once the site of pagan rituals and sacrifices, leaving behind residual energy that attracts malevolent entities. Visitors exploring the clearing report hearing faint chanting emanating from empty air, accompanied by the sensation of cold fingers brushing against their skin. Some claim to see glowing orbs hovering above the ground, pulsating with an otherworldly light. Others describe feeling an overwhelming sense of paranoia, as though unseen eyes are tracking their every move. Another prominent figure in Hoyabaciu's haunted lore is the so-called Lady in White, a ghostly apparition said to roam the forest at night. Historical accounts suggest that she may have been a young woman who disappeared under mysterious circumstances centuries ago. Paranormal investigators exploring the property have captured EVP recordings suggesting the presence of a female entity whispering phrases like, "Help me," and "Don't leave me here." Witnesses described seeing a translucent figure clad in flowing white robes gliding silently through the trees, her expression frozen in eternal anguish. Some speculate that her spirit remains tethered to the forest due to unfinished business, while others believe she serves as a warning to those who dare trespass. The forest's dense canopy and magnetic anomalies contribute to its haunting reputation. Compasses often malfunction within Hoyabaciu, leaving hikers disoriented and lost despite following marked paths. This phenomenon has led many to theorize that the forest harbors an otherworldly energy capable of distorting reality itself. One particularly unnerving incident involved a group of campers who swore they saw trees moving on their own, shifting positions to block their exit. Theories abound that the forest actively manipulates its environment to trap unsuspecting wanderers, feeding off their fear and despair. Modern-day investigations into Hoyabaciu's supernatural claims have yielded intriguing results. Thermal imaging cameras reveal significant temperature drops in specific areas, particularly near the Circle of Fear. Electromagnetic field, EMF, meters register unusual spikes, especially around ancient stone formations believed to amplify negative energies. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from audio recordings, which capture disembodied voices uttering fragmented sentences like, "Get out," and "You shouldn't be here." Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted allure, Hoyabaciu continues to draw thrill seekers and historians alike. For those brave enough to venture inside, the opportunity to encounter its spectral inhabitants adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its twisted beauty or the weight of its tragic legacy, Hoyabaciu promises an unforgettable experience where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the echoes of yesterday linger just beyond reach. The Bridal Veil Falls Forest, tragedy amidst beauty nestled in the heart of Provo Canyon, Utah. The Bridal Veil Falls Forest stands as a haunting juxtaposition of natural splendor and human tragedy, a lush, verdant expanse surrounding one of the state's most picturesque waterfalls. While its cascading waters and moss-covered rocks attract thousands of visitors annually, the forest harbors a darker secret, a legacy of accidents, disappearances, and unexplained phenomena that have earned it a place among America's most haunted woodlands. Beneath its serene exterior lies a tapestry of sorrow woven from decades of misfortune and loss. One of the most pervasive legends tied to Bridal Veil Falls involves the ghost of a bride who perished on her wedding day. According to local lore, the young woman and her fiancé were taking photographs near the falls when she slipped and fell to her death. Her spirit is said to haunt the surrounding forest, manifesting as a faint wail heard echoing through the trees. Visitors exploring the area report seeing a translucent figure dressed in a tattered wedding gown standing motionless near the waterfall, her face obscured by shadows. Others describe feeling an icy draft pass through them, as though the bride's grief lingers in the air. Another prominent figure in the forest's haunted lore is believed to be a Native American warrior named Tatanka, whose tribe once inhabited the canyon. Historical accounts indicate that Tatanka met a tragic end while defending his people from rival tribes. Paranormal investigators exploring the property have captured EVP recordings suggesting the presence of a male entity whispering phrases like, "Protect us," and "We are still here." Witnesses described seeing a shadowy figure clad in traditional garb standing atop cliffs overlooking the falls, his silhouette illuminated by moonlight before vanishing without explanation. Some speculate that Tatanka remains tethered to the land he vowed to protect, while others believe his spirit seeks justice for past wrongs. The forest's dense underbrush and treacherous terrain contribute to its haunting reputation. Hikers often describe feeling disoriented, even along well-marked trails, as though the forest itself resists navigation. This phenomenon has led many to theorize that residual energy from tragic events distorts spatial awareness, creating an almost dreamlike state for those who venture too far. One particularly unnerving incident involved a family who swore they saw a group of shadowy figures huddled together in a clearing, their faces gaunt and hollow. When approached, the figures dissolved into mist, leaving behind only an oppressive silence. Modern-day investigations into Bridal Veil Falls' supernatural claims have yielded intriguing results. Thermal imaging cameras reveal significant temperature drops in specific areas, particularly near the base of the waterfall and along secluded hiking trails. Electromagnetic field (EMF) meters register unusual spikes, especially around boulders and caves believed to have been used as sacred sites by indigenous peoples. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from audio recordings, which capture disembodied voices uttering fragmented sentences like, "She fell," and "I tried to save her." Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted allure, Bridal Veil Falls continues to draw thrill-seekers and nature enthusiasts alike. For those brave enough to explore its depths, the opportunity to encounter its spectral inhabitants adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its natural beauty or the weight of its tragic legacy, Bridal Veil Falls promises an unforgettable experience where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the echoes of yesterday linger just beyond reach. The Black Forest, shadows of the Colorado Rockies. Deep within the rugged expanse of the Colorado Rockies lies the Black Forest, a sprawling woodland shrouded in mystery and steeped in tragedy. Named for its dense canopy of towering pine and spruce trees, this remote wilderness has long been a haven for solitude seekers and adventurers alike. Yet beneath its tranquil surface lies a darker history, one marked by disappearances, murders, and unexplained phenomena that have cemented its status as one of the most haunted forests in the American West. One of the most enduring legends tied to the Black Forest involves the ghost of a prospector named Elijah Kane, who vanished without a trace in the late 19th century. Historical records indicate that Kane struck gold in the region but refused to share his discovery with fellow miners. His greed allegedly led to his demise. Some say he was ambushed and killed by jealous rivals, while others claim he succumbed to starvation after becoming hopelessly lost in the woods. Visitors exploring the forest report hearing faint hammering sounds echoing through the trees, accompanied by the sensation of being followed. Some claim to see a weathered figure crouched over a fire, his face illuminated by flickering flames before vanishing into thin air. Another prominent figure in the Black Forest haunted lore is believed to be Sarah Whitaker, a pioneer woman who met a tragic end during the harsh winter of 1887. According to local accounts, Sarah ventured into the forest in search of firewood and never returned. Her body was discovered weeks later, frozen and partially buried beneath snowdrifts. Paranormal investigators exploring the property have captured EVP recordings suggesting the presence of a female entity whispering phrases like, "I'm so cold," and "Please help me." Witnesses described seeing a pale figure clutching a bundle of sticks, her breath visible in the frosty air despite the absence of any discernible source of warmth. Some speculate that Sarah's spirit remains tethered to the forest due to unfinished business, while others believe she serves as a cautionary tale for those who underestimate its dangers. The forest's rugged terrain and unpredictable weather contribute to its haunting reputation. Hikers often describe feeling disoriented, even along familiar paths, as though the landscape shifts to confuse and trap intruders. This phenomenon has led many to theorize that residual energy from violent storms and tragic events distorts spatial awareness, creating an almost surreal experience for those who venture too deep. One particularly unnerving incident involved a group of hunters who swore they saw glowing eyes peering at them from the darkness, followed by the sound of heavy breathing and snapping branches. When they fired their weapons in self-defense, the noises ceased, but not before they noticed claw-like scratches etched into nearby trees. Modern-day investigations into the Black Forest's supernatural claims have yielded intriguing results. Thermal imaging cameras reveal significant temperature drops in specific areas, particularly near abandoned mining shafts and isolated cabins. Electromagnetic field (EMF) meters register unusual spikes, especially around rocky outcrops believed to harbor ancient Native American burial grounds. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from audio recordings, which capture disembodied voices uttering fragmented sentences like, "Stay away," and "It's not safe here." Despite, or perhaps because of, its haunted allure, the Black Forest continues to draw thrill-seekers and outdoor enthusiasts alike. For those brave enough to explore its depths, the opportunity to encounter its spectral inhabitants adds an element of excitement and trepidation. Whether you're drawn by the allure of its untamed beauty or the weight of its tragic legacy, the Black Forest promises an unforgettable experience where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and the echoes of yesterday linger just beyond reach. As we traverse the haunted landscapes of the American West's most notorious forests, from the twisted trails of Hoyabachu to the mist-shrouded clearings of Aokigahara, striking similarities emerge that transcend individual locations and histories. These patterns are not merely coincidental but reflect universal themes of human emotion, unresolved trauma, and the enduring power of memory. From the wailing winds of Bridal Veil Falls to the silent shadows of the Black Forest, these sites share a commonality that binds them together in a spectral sisterhood of sorrow and suspense. One recurring motif is the concept of isolation. Whether it's the dense canopies that block sunlight or the labyrinthine trails that confuse even seasoned hikers, these forests embody a primal fear of being cut off from civilization. Their vastness amplifies feelings of loneliness and vulnerability, making them ideal settings for encounters with the unknown. Ghostly apparitions, disembodied voices, and inexplicable phenomena all serve to reinforce the idea that these spaces exist outside the boundaries of ordinary reality, where humans are mere intruders in a realm governed by forces beyond comprehension. Another shared characteristic is the role of tragedy in shaping the forest's haunting reputation. Each location bears witness to events that scarred both individuals and communities: suicides, murders, disappearances, and acts of violence committed under duress. These tragedies leave behind emotional residue that seeps into the very fabric of the land, manifesting as restless spirits unable, or unwilling, to move on. Visitors frequently report hearing faint cries, seeing shadowy figures, or feeling an oppressive weight pressing down on them, as though the pain of the past permeates the air itself. Lighting and sensory manipulation also feature prominently in these narratives. Flickering lights, sudden temperature drops, and inexplicable odors are staples of ghostly encounters, designed to disorient and unsettle. Such phenomena strip away the comfort of familiarity, forcing guests to confront the unknown. The interplay of light and shadow becomes a tool wielded by unseen forces, creating moments of visceral terror that linger long after the initial shock subsides. In forests like Aokigahara and Hoyabachu, magnetic anomalies further distort perception, heightening feelings of unease and confusion. Finally, the prevalence of cultural context cannot be overstated. Each forest haunting is deeply rooted in its unique past, shaped by the socio-cultural milieu of its time. Indigenous legends, pioneer struggles, and modern-day tragedies all contribute to the rich tapestry of lore surrounding these haunted woodlands. By drawing on these universal motifs, these forests transform from mere ecosystems into living repositories of collective memory, inviting us to peer into the abyss of our shared humanity. Thus, while each forest boasts its own distinct flavor of fright, the underlying threads connecting them reveal a tapestry rich with meaning. These patterns remind us that the supernatural is not so much about the entities themselves but the stories they tell, the echoes of lives interrupted, passions extinguished, and truths obscured. As we continue to explore these haunted locales, we find ourselves grappling not only with the specters of the past but with the timeless questions they raise about life, death, and everything in between. The psychology of fear. Why haunted forests captivate us? What is it about haunted forests that grips our imaginations so profoundly? Beyond the rustling leaves and snapping twigs lies a deeper allure, one rooted in the psychology of fear and the human fascination with the unknown. These sites, by their very nature, are places of vulnerability. They are vast, untamed, and teeming with life, and yet, beneath their serene exteriors lie secrets that defy explanation. When these spaces become haunted, they amplify our primal fears, transforming familiar settings into arenas of existential dread. The combination of historical context, environmental design, and the lingering presence of past suffering creates a perfect storm of terror that resonates deeply within us. The core of this captivation is the concept of liminality, the state of being on the threshold between two worlds. Haunted forests exist in this liminal space, bridging civilization and wilderness, safety and danger, order and chaos. This inherent duality makes them fertile ground for supernatural narratives. Ghosts, as manifestations of unresolved trauma or unfinished business, embody the tension of being caught between states. They serve as reminders that the boundaries we construct, between the known and the unknown, sanity and madness, are far more permeable than we'd like to believe. For many, venturing into a haunted forest feels like stepping into a twilight zone where the rules of reality no longer apply, igniting both curiosity and unease. Environmentally, haunted forests contribute to this atmosphere of dread through their design. Dense canopies block sunlight, creating perpetual twilight that heightens sensory awareness. Twisting trails and uneven terrain evoke feelings of entrapment and uncertainty. Every rustle becomes a potential threat, every shadow a possible harbinger of danger. This environmental manipulation taps into our instinctual fight-or-flight response, keeping us perpetually on edge. The sheer size and isolation of these forests amplify feelings of insignificance and helplessness, reminding us how small we are in the grand scheme of things. Cultural influences also play a significant role in shaping our fascination with haunted forests. Media representations, from films like The Blair Witch Project to folklore passed down through generations, have cemented the trope of the haunted woodland as a locus of horror. These portrayals often blend historical truths with fictional embellishments, creating a mythology that blurs fact and fiction. Audiences are drawn to these stories because they reflect societal anxieties about the natural world, survival instincts, and the fragility of the human psyche. Haunted forests become microcosms of larger fears, the loss of control, the unpredictability of nature, and the haunting specter of mistakes made in the pursuit of progress. Moreover, haunted forests appeal to our desire for catharsis. Engaging with these tales allows us to process our own fears about mortality, isolation, and the flaws inherent in systems meant to protect us. By confronting ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena, we externalize internal anxieties, transforming abstract fears into tangible adversaries. This vicarious experience provides a safe outlet for exploring the darker aspects of human existence, offering both thrill and relief. It's no wonder that ghost tours and paranormal investigations of haunted forests attract participants eager to test their courage against the unknown. Ultimately, the enduring allure of haunted forests lies in their ability to mirror our deepest fears while challenging our understanding of reality. They remind us that the past is never truly buried, that pain and injustice leave indelible marks on both people and places. As we walk their haunted trails, we are forced to confront not only the spirits said to inhabit them but also the ghosts within ourselves, the regrets, doubts, and unanswered questions that linger long after the wounds have healed. In doing so, we find a strange comfort in knowing that we are not alone in our fears, that others have walked these same paths and emerged, shaken but alive, to tell their stories. As we bring this chilling journey through the haunted forests of the American West to a close, one thing becomes abundantly clear: the spirits of the past refuse to be silenced. Each rustling leaf, each whispered name, and each fleeting shadow serves as a testament to lives lived, lost, and lingering in the spaces we dare to call haunted. These stories are more than mere campfire tales. They are fragments of history, stitched together by human emotion, tragedy, and the relentless passage of time. They remind us that the line between the living and the dead is far thinner than we might believe, and that sometimes the most terrifying truths lie just beyond the veil. But why stop here? If these accounts have stirred something within you, a spark of curiosity, a shiver of excitement, I urge you to take the next step. Visit one of the haunted forests of the American West yourself. Walk the same trails where spirits are said to roam, stand in the clearings where history's echoes reverberate, and let the unknown brush against your senses. Whether you're a skeptic seeking proof or a believer eager to commune with the other side, these forsaken woodlands offer an unparalleled opportunity to confront the mysteries that lie just beyond comprehension. There's nothing quite like experiencing the weight of centuries-old despair firsthand, feeling the chill of a presence that defies explanation, or hearing the faint strains of voices from another time. And when you return, share your story. Did you feel the icy touch of a ghostly hand? Hear the faint snap of a twig in an empty clearing? Or perhaps nothing happened at all, but isn't that silence just as intriguing? Your experiences add to the rich tapestry of lore surrounding these haunted places, ensuring their legacies endure for generations to come. Share your findings with fellow enthusiasts, document your journey, and keep the conversation alive. After all, every whisper contributes to the symphony of the supernatural. Until then, keep your lanterns lit and your courage steady. The spirits are waiting.